This is Lecture 3, Week 3, Church Administration 201. I'm glad you're joining us for this session. Now today you're going to learn some things about delegation. In our last lecture we talked about Jethro, Moses, and organizational leadership. We learned that it is very important for a leader to learn how to delegate effectively. When a leader has unlimited work and limited time, delegation must become a factor in their lives. Most ministers I know are very busy. They work more than a 40-hour week. They are very busy caring for the needs of their flock, preparing for sermons, engaging in counseling, and a myriad of other responsibilities. So it is imperative that ministers learn how to delegate. What are you going to learn in this session? Well, you will learn the 7 blocks to delegation. We will talk about those in some depth. And then there are 4 levels of delegation. We will skim the surface of that topic, but give you a cursory understanding of the 4 levels of delegation. Then the last segment will be reserved to talk about the 8 steps to delegate effectively. Well, let's get started. With so much work to do and so little time to get it accomplished, why then do we not delegate more effectively? Well, there are several blocks to delegation that I want to examine. Number 1, not having time to train people. You make time to train others. Use videos, procedure manuals, use conferences and conventions, workshops, and other opportunities to train others. We are called to equip others as ministers, and in the process of equipping, we train them so we can have great confidence in their ability to carry out the job that has been assigned. The second block to delegation is feeling you can do the job faster. And this is absolutely true. You possess more experience and know exactly what you want to accomplish. But if the task requires a longer time than the training would entail, or the job is repetitive, then training certainly will pay off. Even though you can do the job much quicker, it will pay in the long run to equip somebody else to be able to do the job. Then number 3, feeling you can't trust others to do the job correctly. Ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? If I delegate this task to another individual, what possibly could go wrong? Trust the person, but verify. Give the person permission to fail, for failing is truly an opportunity of moving forward in learning. Before delegating, ask, can this person meet the standard for the project? And if the answer is yes, then delegate. Number 4 is fear of relinquishing control of the project and all of the details. Give more responsibility to a person bit by bit. That way you can recognize if this individual can handle the task, and then the fear of turning over that project to someone else will be reduced. The 5th of these blocks to delegation is the fear of being replaced by someone who can do the job as well as you can, or even better. If you think you're indispensable, you will never be able to build into the lives of other people. The reason is you will be paranoid that they're going to take your place. Maybe they will do a better job and be recognized. Perhaps they will get a promotion. Therefore, you don't invest in others. It's also a matter of pride. The Bible tells us in James 4:6 that God resists the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. I don't know about you, but I don't want the resistance of God on my life. I want to receive His grace. Number 6 is the fear of piling more work on people who are already overworked. Maybe the person needs time management training. Prepare them in advance for big projects. Help them to understand that you can take a big project and break it down into smaller, bite-sized pieces and accomplish it much better. The old saying about eating an elephant is true. How do you do it? Well, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. You accomplish a big project one bite at a time. Be interested in the results and show appreciation to that person that you're supervising or working with. And then number 7, this forces you to be organized, to set deadlines, to monitor progress, to set goals, and outline projects. It really does cause you to put in an organized way what you would like to accomplish, and then get others to come alongside you to accomplish those things. Now let's turn our attention to levels of delegation. There are 4 levels to which we can delegate projects, responsibilities, and assignments. We'll look at these one by one, but we won't spend much time on any one of them. Level number 1 is you do the research, collect information, and then bring it to me, and I will make the decision. Here you're delegating all the research, collecting the information, gathering the conclusions, but then you, as the authority, perhaps the pastor of the church or maybe a ministry leader, you're the one that will make the final decision. So they gather the information for you, and you make the decision. Level number 2 is a little bit different. You do the research, you collect the information, and then bring it to me along with suggestions or opinions, and I will make the decision. You see, this gives more responsibility to the person you're delegating that particular responsibility to. You let them do the research, they collect all the information, and then they come bringing their insight to suggest ways to move forward and their opinions, but you still make the decision. The third level of delegation is you do the research, collect information, and you decide a course of action and let me know before you act. Here you are providing great responsibility for the person you're delegating the project to. You're asking them to gather the information, study it, analyze it, look at it closely, and then decide the course of action without getting your input. The only thing you ask is that they let you know before they act. This is a safeguard because it allows you to pull the plug on the project if you don't think that it will fly, or if your reputation or that of your organization would be hurt. So you have to be careful here, but this is a wonderful place to be with a person under your supervision. Then number 4, you do the research, collect information, take action, and notify me in terms of what you did. Here you've placed complete confidence in the employee or the minister or the person you're delegating the information to. Here you're deciding that this person will do a great job with the project and you can just let them do it. You have utmost confidence in their ability to perform at a high level. These are the 4 levels of delegation. How are you doing so far in terms of evaluating your own delegating skills? Now here's a way that you could use to help you in terms of evaluating your success. On your daily to-do list, ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? Is there someone else that could better achieve this goal? It's an important thing for us to be motivated to delegate to other people. Now let's look at the 8 steps to delegate effectively. Number 1 is define your specific objective. What is it that you really want to achieve? What would the scorecard look like for achieving this objective if it is completed? Define that specific objective, and when you bring someone in to delegate a responsibility to them, be sure they know the objective, and be sure they can tell you what the objective is. A question I sometimes use is, now I try to communicate clearly with you, but perhaps I haven't. Would you tell me what I just said? And this gives you feedback in terms of allowing you to know what has been said and what they have heard. Number 2, select the person to whom you want to delegate. Take into account their history. What have they done for the church in times past? How's their track record? What about their ability? Do they have the ability to carry out this task? Some personalities are better suited for some jobs. Therefore, we need to take into account the personality of the individual. Are they introverts or extroverts? Ask yourself, how much support will they need? In other words, how much of my time will I need to invest to be sure this person is successful? And when you delegate a responsibility to an individual, be sure that they're going to succeed in what they're doing. You make it your responsibility that they succeed. Number 3, assess the risk. Now, there are really 4 risk levels. 1, there's no risk. You can assign this responsibility to a particular person on your staff, and there will be no risk at all. You trust them completely. There's low risk, and that is you don't trust them absolutely with every detail of the project, but you still have a low risk. There will be very little difficulty or problem delegating to this person. There may be moderate risk or average risk. And then the last one is great risk. Now listen closely. The greater the risk, the more the control. Trust will be earned over time, but until that trust has been established, then realize that you must take more control to be sure that each step along the way is monitored. Then number 4, clearly assign duties. Define the end result. Define it in terms of quality, quantity, cost, and time frame. It's always a good idea to take into consideration the ideas of the person you're delegating to. Ask them what they think the cost should be, or the time frame. When can they accomplish this task, or the quality or quantity of the assignment. This always helps them because they become invested in the project and in the assignment, and they will do a much better job. Now, there are 4 other steps to delegating effectively, and we'll look at those on the next slide. Now, to review for just a moment, there are 8 steps to delegate effectively. 1 is define your specific objective. 2, select the person. 3, assess the risk. 4, clearly assign the duties. Now, number 5, ask for feedback. Here's a great question. So I can check myself, please repeat back in your own words what I just said. When you're giving the specific objective you'd like to accomplish, and when you're assigning the duties, it's always good to check yourself and to get feedback from the person you're delegating the responsibility for. I think this particular statement is very effective and very helpful. Let me repeat it again. So I can check myself, please repeat back in your own words what I just said. This doesn't make the person you're delegating to defensive in any way. It gives them an opportunity of just telling you what they understood you to say. Number 6, delegate authority as well as responsibility. Without authority, people will return to you over and over and over and over again. So, give them their level of authority. Let them know what level of delegation they're on by simply asking them to report back to you according to your level of trust. And then number 7, establish controls. Inspect or check on what's going on. Control weekly reports, periodic written reports, or have staff meetings to give a report about what's going on and what's been happening in their area of responsibility. And number 8, and this is very important, keep a delegation log. Put the name of the project, the results that you want, to whom you assigned the task, the date of the assignment, the due date, and then make notes along the way in terms of the progress that the person is making. Review your delegation log with your staff. Why do you do this? Well, it's so easy for us to forget what we have delegated and to whom we have delegated a project. And so this will just give you a very simple way to keep up with the delegation process.